Hello and welcome to the disaster area that is our family's reading room. It is in upheaval right now. It's not usually a complete wreck with blank shelves and things like that, but you know what? That's real life and that's okay. So today I am doubling up. I'm going to be getting ready for my day. I am multitasking while also sharing with you an awesome time saver. So I'm just going to start doing my makeup and talking like we're the best of friends and we're just hanging out while chatting. So just forgive me for how exciting this is. And because I'm no makeup guru, we're not like talking about my makeup at all. This is just an added bonus, something that I happen to be doing. Anyway, so today the really awesome time-saving tip that I want to share with you has to do with menu planning. And if you are like me and do the menu planning, the kitchen stuff for your family, then this is a great tip. Because so often I feel like we assume that we make a whole slew of different recipes, and if we don't plan, we just kind of fly by the seat of our pants, and it's like, oh, does meatloaf sound good tonight? Okay. Or, oh, I have some black beans left, let's make this. Instead of planning from the get-go, so often we end up making the same, 5 to 10 staple meals continually throughout the month and not trying all that much new. So this all comes full circle here in a second. So my thinking is taking the time, maybe an hour, jot something down, plan an entire month of food for your family. Now, this will accomplish several things. First of all, unless you put the same 5 items on the list over and over and over again, you will actually diversify your family's menu, because we all have our little favorites. Like anytime I ask my kids what they want me to make next, they'll request homemade bread and mac and cheese and things like that. Kind of those favorite items that her pizza, good grief, pizza is one of those things that we can just make anytime or buy anytime for less. Anyway, whenever we plan the menu ahead of time, plan about a month's worth of menus, whether you want to do a 2-week segment or a 3-week segment or a 4-week segment, whatever you want to do. I prefer to do 31 days, so it covers months that have 31 days, it covers months that have 28 days, whatever. So if you plan 1 month's worth of meals, then you also diversify your menu more than what you already are doing naturally, because we all think that we just serve all kinds of different things, but if you really look at what your family eats each day or what your family meals are each week or day or week, we're actually serving the same things over and over and over again. So come up with 31 in my case, or 14 if you want to just do 2 weeks worth and then repeat of meals, and then repeat that every month. So every day on the 15th you might have chicken spaghetti, but only having it once a month makes it special every time you have it. It makes it interesting, and it makes it to where we're not always getting just sick to death of chicken spaghetti. So, this is what's fun about doing makeup with me. It's kind of messy, but at least I have coffee. Okay, so doing this kind of menu planning has another benefit besides diversification. It also has the benefit of saving you money and time at the grocery store. Because if you're always making the same dishes, with very few exceptions, there are going to be, days when you have a potluck at church, or you're getting together with dinner with friends for dinner or whatever. But you know what? So you just eliminate a couple of items for that particular day that's coming up. But for the most part, week in, week out, month in, month out, you have the same grocery list. And so you don't have to put any thought to it. You just have this ever-revolving list of groceries that applies to the coming week. You know, I don't remember the exact stat, but did you know that the fewer times a month that you go to the grocery store, the actually the less money you spend? So if you are like me and super budget conscious of what you're spending at the grocery store, and you know the factors about going to the grocery store hungry and how much extra that costs, and going to the grocery store, you know, and then picking up 5 impulse items along the way. Or one thing that I like to do, or don't like to do, however you want to look at it, is I don't like taking my kids to the grocery store for lots of reasons, but mainly because it always costs me more money if I take my kids to the grocery store. I forget I'm supposed to be doing makeup at the same time. So all of these different factors can add up to not only save you time, I get in and out of the grocery store tons faster if it's just me doing it. It saves me money because I'm using the same grocery list every week. I prefer to go once a week. Every week, and it remains the same, and we're good to go, and there's really no big alteration unless there's something special coming up, maybe a birthday, maybe some, you know, friend get-together party or something. But for the most part, it's staying the same. So you always know, like coupon-wise, if you're a coupon cutter or if you're a bargain shopper and buy in bulk, you know, at one of like Sam's or whatever, you know what you need. And so you can always be looking for the best price of those specific items. But also, you're saving so much time, because how much time even during your work day, if you're like me, not necessarily now in this time of my life, but when I have worked at an office and been away from home more, and was also the person who had to come home and make dinner every night, oh my gosh, I would spend so much time during the day just thinking about what I was going to make that evening, what I thawed for, you know, in a rush that morning as I was running out the door, what had I pulled out to thaw, what was I going to do to magically transform this dish or this item into something unique and exciting that we haven't had 1,000 times in the last year. And so you waste a lot of time just obsessing over that. Imagine if it was like, oh, I prefer to set mine up on note cards. So I have a note card for each date of the month. So I'll have a note card for the 1st, I'll have a note card for the 31st, I'll have a note card for every date in between. And that date is the same whether it's January or whether it's August. It just doesn't matter. And so instead of obsessing about it, I know that I already have the groceries because I had the same grocery list going. I know that it's the 2nd, and so I'm having this for dinner, and it's all good. It's an amazing concept, and I don't understand why more people don't do it. The other side of that is then you can also better manage, if you're anything like my family, you know, we have some sweet tooths, but at the same time, like most people, we don't have any business actually indulging that sweet tooth every time that we get the inkling. So what I do instead is I plan out the desserts, and I plan out complimentary desserts, you know, every 3 or 4 days, or maybe just, you know, every 7 days, and or whatever. But that way, you have special desserts. You have special items that make it feel more like a celebration, more like something really nice and indulgent. So maybe then we don't constantly every single night ask for a piece of candy or a bowl of ice cream or a cookie. If we have these special desserts, if it's more of something that we're doing as a celebration or as something special, then that cuts down on the sugar and the dessert things that we think we need throughout the rest of the day or the rest of the week. So it works out well in that way too. So we're lowering our family's sugar intake. We are lowering the time allotted for dinner things and for planning and whatnot. We're decreasing the amount of money that we're spending because there aren't the impulse items. There aren't the constant trips to the grocery store. I have friends who go to the grocery store every single day on their way home to pick up what they're making for dinner that night. That blows my mind. I can't imagine the different items that I didn't really need that I would buy if I went to the grocery store every single day. And especially on my way home from work, tired already, and just, oh my word, what I would pick up. I would end up picking up, just knowing me, I would end up picking up a snack just for my way home because I know that it's still going to be like an hour before I get to eat. And I'm starving already because it's after work. So, that is not a good plan. So, all of this being said, oh, that was cute. All of this being said, the point of this, besides just watching me completely fly off the handle and ramble for however knows how long this has been, is, oh my gosh, I'm making something bad worse. So this whole idea is just centered around making the most of our time, doubling up when we can, as long as it doesn't result in you completely pouring like dark eyeliner all over your face like it does with me, evidently. Anyway, making the most of your time, making the most of your money, planning ahead, being a forward thinker, and making the rest of your day so much easier, because that is one less thing that you have to think about. Every day you have the same thing. You change up the menu. You indulge your family in special treats instead of cheap, nasty ones. And everyone is happier. And it's great. And I just want to encourage you to take this for what it's worth. I think it's a great plan. It may not work for you. Either way, I want to encourage you to try to find little tips like this, whether it's menu planning or whether it is scheduling your days as similarly each day as to the next as possible, so that there's not so much variation and there's not so many question marks or blank spaces. But maximizing your time, making the most of it. I haven't put on mascara, yikes. Making the most of your time, doubling up on these things when you can. Sometimes, like today, maybe multitasking is not the best idea, because sometimes multitasking just makes you a scattered, frazzled little mess. But, you know what? We're all friends here, so it's all good. I don't pretend to be a makeup guru, so that gets me off the hook for completely flying off the handle on this whole project and being bizarre. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you will utilize this little bit of time tip for what it's worth. I swear by it. I think it's great. I spend more money, more time, and have more redundancy in my family's food menu whenever I get off of this schedule, and so I just swear by it. Every time I return to it, I think, why did I ever stop with the good plan that I had in place? And return to it, save money, save time, save my sanity, and it's just awesome. So that's that. I hope that you are having a great week. I hope that this has been a blessed week for you. We have been having rain and gross, but my plants are loving it. There's not been any hail, so that's been good. And everything's good here. So you just keep having a great day until I see you again.